Hi, James. If you could tell us a little bit about your background and how you kind of got into comics.
Hi, Philip. Yeah, I'm the artist on SLAYER for Spacewarp with Pat Mills. I've been involved with comics and mostly small press comics for the last 20, 25 years. Generally, I kind of been doing small press mostly because the deadlines are much better for me. I was working with a guy named Bill Story a good few years ago. He was doing a project called Zarathustra, and although that was quite a while ago, I've been working on Zarjaz, which is the 2000 lead fanzine for the last couple of years. It's not really how you get in, you just get involved, really. There's no real big wall in the way of getting involved in small press. You just show some enthusiasm and just get involved, really. And I've kept it up over the years. Comics has always been my main reason to do drawing, really. I've always been creative, but drawing comics has really been the thing that's been keeping me interested all these years. And this project is no different.
Yeah, so how did you become involved with Spacewarp?
I was following Pat Mills' website, Newellverse, and he put up a post that he was going to be doing a project called Spacewarp. And immediately I kind of went, geez, I got to get involved with this if at all possible. So I just kind of started sending in my work. I didn't even know if they were looking for people at that time, but I wouldn't mind getting involved with doing logos or lettering or whatever. And luckily enough, he was interested in some of my work. So I pretty much applied for one of the projects that I didn't get first off, and then when I did the submission for the second project, which is the SLAYER project, he picked up on that, and we worked our way through that for a couple of months until he felt I was ready to take on the strip itself.
So yeah, if you could tell us a little bit more about that story, SLAYER, without giving us any spoilers, if that's possible.
Sure, yeah. It's SLAYER character is an alien robot that he seems to be a cosmic policeman or person that patrols the cosmos and keeps things in order. Although he I think due to the space warp, which is a theme going through Pat's entire comic, I think he has SLAYER himself as his work cut out for him, as to do his job of protecting the universe for that. So the space warp itself seems to be some sort of tear in space and time that seems to be mishmashing a lot of different genres. And each story in the space warp comic itself takes up one of these genres, say, or themes. And my one is the SLAYER one. Myself and Pat's one is the SLAYER one. And he is a it's hard to know whether he's a mechanical robot or an organic robot. I haven't really worked that out for myself yet. But he is, or it is, there has been a influx of Earth space knights. Knights of the Spacewarp, I think they're called. And they have kind of attacked one of the planets in his part of the universe anyway. And they're invited guests, and he has to sort them out and try and get rid of them. So I don't think that gives away any spoilers, but he is very different way of dealing with attacks, say from outside, mostly using his own body rather than guns or any kind of missiles or something like that. But, all of the revealed the story, I think.
Great stuff. So I'd like to talk a little bit about your artistic process. So do you work mainly traditionally? Do you ever work digitally? What's your kind of day-to-day routine on producing your comics pages?
Yeah, I would consider myself traditional, but I do use computers as well, almost 50% of the time as well. So I would always start off by drawing with a pencil. And in the last couple of years, I've been using an animator's blue pencil. I don't know if you've seen some of the images I passed on. They're photographs will show that the images are in blue. The pencil's images are in blue. So I don't know if you're familiar with that process, but the idea of that is it's such a light color. There's no erasing. And what I found over the years is if you pencil in normal pencil lead, and then when you rub out the pencil, it takes away some of the ink as well, and it feathers the lines. So a friend of mine suggests I use an animator's pencil, which is this blue line, and I found that to be fantastic. I just continue on. So then I penciled that out. I don't go too detailed. It depends. Sometimes I go very detailed, and sometimes I just keep it loose. And I do most of the work then in the inking stage, and I use various different tools from brush to pen to spray, airbrush, and whiteout, and then how I feel on the day. And then I would pretty much scan it all in and then start again. I'd almost start sometimes re-inking it, toning it, scaling it, and chopping it up, moving it around, trying to get it, pull it all together into a coherent page. So in my own head, I think my job is done when I finish the inking, but that's not the case. When I sit in front of the computer, there's a whole amount of time that is needed to get to a finished page. And luckily, this project allows me that time. There is no way I would be able to do this as a professional, because the work just takes too much time, and no editor would wait that long to have a page handed in. So this project suits me down to the ground, or any of the small press projects that I have done suits me very, because it's very long deadlines for these type of projects, and it allows me to put as much effort into it as I'd like. And that's what's great with working with Pat. He allows you to do that, and you understand that if it takes longer, it takes longer. And,
yeah, I was going to ask actually how far ahead you're working, and if you know the future direction for the strip.
That might be a spoiler. Well, as far as I'm aware, that there is only the first episode that I've done. I've just finished it off in the last month. I think I still have to do the lettering on that episode. So that's 6 pages, and I think it's going to be re-texted. I think Pat is doing another version, another pass on the script to tighten up the dialogue, or to suit the dialogue more to what I actually drew. There's a bit of give and take there, as in his script would suggest, well, it is a very tight script now. He would suggest one thing, and then when I draw it, I wouldn't try and go off script at all, but definitely any artist would put something in that maybe wasn't there in the script, and Pat's great like that. He kind of spots something and he goes, "Oh, I like that," and kind of pushes towards that direction. He may add something to the next page, or he may change the dialogue to suit the how the character looks or feels in the panel, which is very good, because it's more organic that way. So I was actually surprised, because the scripts I have in the past, they're pretty locked and they don't usually change. But but working with Pat, he seems to roll with the punches, say, and so I try to do that also. If he has any new suggestions, I try and incorporate them as well. So that's one episode is done, and I'm not too sure where it goes from there. And I know this has been a massive undertaking on Pat's side, and I'm sure he's a pretty busy guy with his professional work, and he's doing all this stuff he's on that. So I think there was talk that he may be getting other writers involved, and maybe they'll take over the strips, and he might work as an editor. I'm not too sure. I haven't really got into that with Pat in that context anyway. But as far as I'm aware, these 6 pages will be finishing up, and we'll get it out there and just see how it goes. Really, if it takes off. I don't know how I'd be able to keep up the pace of producing, even getting a strip out a month. The other artists may be able to do it, but I definitely wouldn't be able to produce an episode a month. I just wouldn't have time. But if it's a longer period than that, if the second issue or the third issue was coming out, say, quarterly, there might be a possibility there. We might be able to continue it on, or I might get replaced in the artist as an artist on the strip, and that's not a problem either. I mean, it's a collaboration.
Yeah, I was going to ask actually how much crossover there has been, and how aware of the other artists' work have you been during the process?
I have seen one or two bits and pieces, yeah. Mostly online. I haven't really been privy to. Well, I haven't really been getting involved with the other artists. I'm not too aware of their work other than what I've seen on Pat's website. But I'm looking forward to actually just seeing the whole thing pulled together. I'd rather keep it piecemeal at the moment, and then just see the whole thing finished and in my hands, say, as a finished product. And I think it's going to be printed. I think it's going to be a physical copy. I would like to see it as a physical printout, because I'm not really too interested in reading comics online. I feel like the physical aspect of it.
So for the future, what are your future plans beyond Spacewarp as well? Have you got any other projects that you're working on?
Yeah, well, I've always got something. I was just going to, I put some of my own stuff aside while I was doing this. So I might just move back onto that just as a stopgap to see what I'll do next. So I was kind of working on I really like, I was reading last year the Star Blazer from DC Thompson from the 80s and 90s. I've been reading a lot of those last year. I was kind of going, let's do this, because the panel format is an average of 2 panels per page. It's very different than what 2000Z or American comics do. I thought, hey, that's a really nice open kind of page to work on. So an average of 2 panels. Some pages can be 1, some pages can be 3, and it's a book of 64 pages. And I had already started some pages last year, and I'm just going to go back and start working on those a bit more. And I'm writing this as well, and it all involves robots. I actually quite enjoy drawing robots. You'll probably see that in the artwork that I put you on. Not only the Spacewarp, but some of the other stuff I've sent you. So there'll be a bit of that, and if I get bored with that, I'd do some more Zarjaz. Yeah, I'd like to go back and do a strip for that as well. Once again, long deadlines, which is 60 down to the ground, and it's nice work with other writers. Sometimes if I'm doing the writing myself, I just run out of ideas and get bored. But if you're working with somebody, you really put in the time to get it done, because you're not only working for yourself, somebody's waiting on the script to be done as well. So
So finally, if anyone's interested in seeing more of your work, is there anywhere online they could go to view it, or do you have a Twitter handle or anything like that?
Yeah, there's a Twitter there. Can't remember the name of it now, but yeah, there's just a Twitter there. I just felt it was the easiest thing to upload images every now and then, although I haven't been updating it in the last 8 months. I haven't been throwing much up. It's just there's no time really. You're either drawing or you're trying to do social media, and I just want to do the drawing really. Yeah, but I throw stuff up every now and again, just to, more or less for myself as well, just to keep an eye on what I did in the last couple of months and just review it for myself.
Great. Okay. Well, thanks very much, James, for taking the time out to talk to me today, and we look forward to seeing your work in the first issue of Spacewarp.
Yeah, same here. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody's work together. What was the impression from the other creators about their work and that? What have you seen there?
Okay. Thanks very much. Thank you.
Okay. Good luck. Thanks.
Thanks.